Yeah, I can see how you're gonna have no tires after today. This is it. The tires are done. They get one day to live.
This episode's brought to you by Flying Eyes. Stick around later in the episode to find out how to get 10% off. My name is Trevor Aldridge. I flew for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, and I flew F-15s across England, Japan, and the Middle East, where I got my call sign, Duzit. Now, I travel the country looking for my next adventure. This is Doesn't Does It.
We're just leaving Northwest Arkansas on our way down to Austin, Texas. Normally this show is an aviation show. Today it's going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be driving around the Circuit of the Americas, which in and of itself is an incredible kind of dream come true. I love aviation, but I also love cars. And this track is just a world-class track. You see the top MotoGP, Formula One, IndyCar, they all race there. And not only are we going to be driving across the Circuit of the Americas, we're going to be driving Ferraris across the Circuit of the Americas, which is incredible and a little bit terrifying at the same time. So I'm really excited about it. Here in a little bit, we'll be landing in Austin, and let's see how it goes.
Once we landed in Austin, we got picked up by some friends and then went over to meet with Grant Shaw. Grant has a Ferrari collection. He's been a friend through some mutual things that we've been able to do in the past together. We went back up and we talked about kind of what our plan was for the day. We knew that we had to go get his cars because he doesn't have enough parking for all of his cars, so he leaves a few of them at the Ferrari dealership. So we're gonna have to take this 458 Speciale down to the dealership. Honestly, jumping in that 458 was a wild experience for me. And then once the engine had a chance to warm up, he had a chance to really hit it. And the 458 Speciale is just an incredible aircraft. An incredible aircraft. The 458 Speciale is just an incredible car. It's got a big naturally aspirated V8 engine and produces almost 600 horsepower. And the Speciale, the 458 Speciale, is designed specifically for driving fast and going fast around the track. It is wicked fast. So we got to drive that down to the Ferrari dealership to pick up his other car, the SF90. The SF90 is Ferrari's really flagship car. It's got this massive engine which produces almost 700 horsepower to the rear wheel, and it has two electric motors up front which produce another 150 to 200 horsepower to deal out a total of about 1,000 horsepower to all four wheels. It's absolutely insane, so much in the fact that the limitation of the car is not really the engine or the suspension or transmission, it's really the tires. So he put these brand new slick tires on it, and that was the limiting factor of the car on how fast we can go. Truly, tire technology has not kept up with enough to give this car the performance that it's capable of. We had to get the new tires put on, so we went back to the maintenance area and saw them putting the new tires on and getting the car ready for the track day. Once the SF90 was ready to go with its new slick tires on, we had the chance to take it to the track. And when he punched it on the road to get onto the highway, I have never experienced acceleration like that.
Oh my God.
He just laughed. Like, that's all he could do was just laugh at the sheer acceleration that this car has. But independent testing has shown that this car can go from 0 to 60 in 2.0 seconds flat, which is absolutely phenomenal.
I was trying not to smile. Impossible.
I've actually never been to the track before.
Well, welcome to Coda.
Yeah. So we showed up to the Circuit of the Americas, and I had to go through a basic introductory course because I'd never been on this course before. I had to have an instructor in my right seat. That's great. Honestly, when I'm an instructor in an airplane, I always have controls and throttles and stick just in case the student makes a mistake. I don't know how these guys do it because he's sitting in the right seat there, audibly telling me what to do, but having absolutely no control if I push it too far. And I didn't go easy on the cars. So the first lap that I got to do was around in the 458 Speciale, and they put me in the very beginner's class. Fortunately, I was at the beginning of the line, so I got to pass somebody, and I had the whole track for about a lap, maybe a lap and a half, to really test the track, see what the car was like, to be able to really kind of see the lines and see where the apexes were and what line I wanted to run on it. So we went back, we let the tires cool down, we let the brakes cool down, and we got to go back out. And this time I got to actually run it a little bit. And man, was it fun.
Yeah? Oh yeah. Way better? Way better. Good. Yeah, you did great, man.
Awesome.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Well
Thanks.
done.
Can we get some pictures? From there, I got to jump in the car with Grant as he went and drove the SF90 around the track.
How you doing, brother?
Good. Good. Yeah. The adrenaline hasn't worn off. Let's keep it going.
We're going to crank it up to 1,000 horsepower next. So.
Grant's been doing this a lot, so he was able to be in the advanced class. And honestly, we were still passing cars left and right because this car was just insane.
Oh my gosh. These tires are so sticky. Those lateral beams are insane. You didn't even slow down for that turn.
Driving with Grant in the SF90 as he was truly pushing to the limit was terrifying, to be completely honest.
Wow. Holy jeez. Man, I am blown away by this.
I was grabbing onto the door handle like I was holding on for dear life.
I realize I'm white knuckling this handle on the side.
Enjoying every moment of it, but terrified at the same time. I just have never been in a car that accelerates so fast, that turns so sharp. I just honestly didn't know that a car can do that.
That was absolutely insane that a car can do that.
How was it?
That car is insane. Like, that car is just absolutely insane. The tires, the braking speed, the corner speed that we had is just what seems like would be impossible for a normal car to be able to do. Driving the 458 was great. It was fast. It held the corners extremely well, better than any car I ever drove. But then in this,
It's ridiculous.
it's a completely different game.
It's
like
just so absurdly
it's like
fast.
so many evolutions past that incredible car right there.
Well, and that's exactly why.
Now it was time for me to go drive the SF90. And I was really excited about it because I'd seen Grant drive it. I knew how fast the 458 was, but that SF90, to be able to take that out on the road, I was stoked. The problem was he had already used most of the tires, and so I was warned that the tires only had about 2 millimeters of tread left on them, and that they were going to get very slick as soon as they started to go. So now here I knew I was going to be driving an SF90 for the first time. I was going to be driving on tires that were about to give out, and they were going to get super slick in a car that wasn't mine. We went out and it was supposed to be this perfect timing. The sun was setting, great time to go out and drive a car. Temperatures were starting to come down a little bit, which was fine, so I wouldn't heat up the tires too much and really cook them early. And then there was an accident. A car went into the wall and actually damaged the barrier. Totaled the car, not good. And it took them a while to get the car off the track, fix the barrier so that we could get back on the track. And in that time, the sun had set. Now I was gonna be driving the SF90 with tires that were about to go out on a track at night that I've never driven on a track at night. And I didn't realize how dark that track was gonna be. All right, here we go. Thank God I had the opportunity to drive around that track 6 or 7 times prior to taking the SF90 out at night, because otherwise I would have had no idea where I was going.
Yeah, one last run. Man, this car is insane. I mean, I'm not a good driver, but it makes me go fast.
Overall, it was a absolutely wild experience to be driving a 1,000 horsepower car at night, hitting 175, 180 miles an hour on the backstrip on tires that were starting to give out. But it was amazing. So Grant had to leave a little bit early, so he had a couple Ferraris that we had to get home. So we were able to hop in, jump on the interstate, drive around downtown Austin a little bit, and go park his cars in. Overall, what an incredible experience to be able to drive Ferraris on such an incredible track. And we really thank Grant for his hospitality and generosity to let us come out there and drive these really unique cars. This episode has been brought to you by Flying Eyes. Honestly, these are some of my favorite sunglasses I've ever flown with. They're incredibly durable. They've got polycarbonate lenses. And if you want to get a pair of these, go to Flying Eye Optics. Check out with code DOZEN and you get 10% off and you help support the channel as well.